This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank.
I am here with head coach of the boys and girls swimming team here at Naperville Central, head coach Mike Adams. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys having me.
So what I want to start with was the DVC meet just last week, third place. What was your expectation for your team going into it?
Well, going into DVC, our focus is to swim well. That is the main focus. Obviously you want to finish as high as you possibly can. We have 4 levels at the DVC. The JV Open, where we were third, JV we were second, freshman we were second, and varsity we were third. So we were pleased with our meet. Waubonsie can be a challenging pool at times, and our girls got up there and had some great swims.
And now sectionals coming up next Saturday. How does the practicing right now, how does the practice training, how does it change when you're going into postseason play, or if it changes at all?
Well, our goal all season is to swim well at the end of the year. So we build up toward that goal. And so right now we are doing what you would call tapering, cutting back, getting ready for big swims next weekend and the following weekend after that.
So it's kind of just not as rigorous, I guess, as maybe
Right.
mid-season training. So now, obviously, sectionals coming up. You have a young team this year. What's the difference, and maybe in your mindset, between coaching the veterans, the juniors, seniors, or the freshmen, sophomores that are on varsity?
You know, our mission pretty much stays the same each and every year. We want to swim well at the end of the year. It may change where we're doing that. You know, maybe it might be sectionals, maybe it's state, maybe it's DVC. So regardless of the people we have, the goal is to swim fast, and that's our goal.
And you have, like you said, we have a young team here. As a coach, is that exciting for you to just for the future, even if you don't get to exactly where you want to be this year, you still
Right.
have a good young team for the next years?
You know, every year is a challenge, and every year presents its challenges that we want to overachieve, each and every year. That's our goal.
Did you have expectations or goals that you set that you told them at the start of the year? Or maybe just in your mind?
We try not to work on the end of the year goals so much as being in the process. Sometimes if the swimmers are thinking about a certain time, obsessing about a time, then they forget what they need to do to get that time. So we try to stay in the moment, not think too far ahead. And, the girls are pretty savvy. They know where they're going and what we want, but we don't want people obsessing over their end of the year results.
For state coming up, if you get past sectionals, is there anything that you try to do, even I guess you can include sectionals in that, to try to calm them as it's a bigger, obviously it's more important if you try not to ignore it?
I think the bigger the meet, the more you have to relax. You have to sometimes stop and pull yourself back and just say it's another meet, even though it is a really big meet. But you have to relax and not think too much about the high quality of competition you're going up against.
Now in the DVC you have Waubonsie, Metea, and Neuqua. Is the conference meets in the regular season, does that kind of prepare you even for postseason because of how competitive it really is?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say without question our conference is easily the toughest in the state. You're not going to find a conference that goes 5 or 6 deep like ours.
How much did you follow Kevin Cordes coming out of Naperville in the Olympics?
Actually, Kevin, when we last won the state meet in 2010, he was on the Neuqua team that we narrowly edged. So we know Kevin well. We were happy to see Kevin do well, but we also had another swimmer that almost made the Olympics, Sean Lehane, who was a senior at Tennessee. He was 4th at Olympic trials. So there were a lot of Illinois kids, a lot of local Illinois kids that we were following all through the summer.
Have you noticed any different maybe energy level or paying more attention to swimming since this Kevin Cordes thing at the Olympics?
Every Olympic year there's a bump. There's more of an interest in the sport, which is good. The U.S. team did very well in Rio. And so when that happens, there's always a bump in the sport, and we're grateful for it.
And just what about the Naperville kind of city as a whole with the youth swimming? It's a big deal throughout all levels. How much do you think that contributes to the high school level?
There's no question that between the clubs that feed into us as well as all the park districts, that's a huge help to our program.
And you said with the Cubs parade going on today, what was the protocol at practice today? Were they allowed to go if they were?
I declined to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me. So.
And I know we talked before. You're a Sox fan, it was an exciting time. But now we see them, like we said, getting ready for sectionals. Is there anything that you will say to them that you haven't said yet, or next week right before the sectional meet?
I think they need to relax and they need to go for it. Okay, and they do, if usually DVC for both boys and girls is a really good indicator as to where we're at. And we had some amazing drops last week, and if they're not excited, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
So,
what's the difference between you coach both boys and girls? What do you think the biggest difference is coaching-wise?
Oh boy. I think the girls like to talk a little bit more than the boys. So we'll just leave it at that for right now.
For time-wise, for the races, is there do they look at any of their times, or they kind of try to model off? I know that's not the same for boys and girls, but is there certain times that they notice that they maybe want to get near for the boys, or they want to compete with them too?
I don't know if they want to go as fast as the boys, but I think that they, see what the boys have done and try to, get the same types of drops that they get.
What's your favorite coaching memory here? It could be for the boys or the girls here at Naperville Central.
Oh, well, I think there's a lot of them. Obviously I think every year is different. Every year is challenging. And you want to take every group that you have as far as you can. And I think that's really the favorite memory. It's not just wins or losses, but it's trying to take a group of people who might not have thought they could do much and, do as much as you can with them.
And final question I want to ask you, what's your coaching style? What do you think that you bring that maybe other coaches don't do, or you kind of model off of other coaches? Because some can be very loud, some can be kind of held back a little bit, or what do you think your coaching style is?
I probably tend to be more laid back. I think that we try to get everybody here on our team to do well and buy in. I'm not a screamer or yeller, but I have been known to let somebody know when I'm unhappy. So I think that's what I do.
And one more thing, actually. This team, I know they're going to sectionals, so I want to ask, is there anything different about this team as opposed to other teams that you really noticed that you like a lot about this team, maybe compared to last year or 5 years ago?
Well,
anything?
I'll be honest. We've had a very tough field meet schedule. We've gone up against the defending state champs, all these pretty good teams, and our girls are like, all right, keep going.
Step up.
Keep going, and I give them a lot of credit for that. Mm-hmm. When you have a really rough schedule, it'd be really easy to say, we're okay or we're not that good, but really they have gotten up there and fine, let's go again.
That's great.
So that's impressive to me.
Yeah.
That's what I really admire about our girls team this year.
Well, they're not backing down, and hopefully they step up next weekend at sectionals, and best of luck, and thanks for joining us.
I appreciate your coverage.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Eric.